じゃあ今日何をしましたか？
いっぱい歩いた。
あ、本当に？
うん。
タラちゃんと
たらちゃんと、もちろんもちろん。今日は、ちょっと待って。てんてれれん。お、すごい。27,700歩。
わお。
すごい。
20km。
へえ。私はちょっとだけ。7707。
何これ見せて。
これは Fitbit。
あ、すごい。なんだ。
はい、Fitbit One。多分、6年前くらいの6年、毎日使ってます。これだけ。はい、そして、これをして、これもクリップありますね。アプリで、スタッツは日本語で何ですか？
統計？
が見えます。はい。寝るときも、手首のものあります。これを取って入れる。寝る。
寝てるときも？
はい。よく寝てる。
それは、スリープサイクルを後で見れる。
そうです。はい。
睡眠サイクル。
睡眠サイクル。
ありますよね。Fitbit は大抵スマートウォッチ使ってる。でもこれしたらステップになるでしょ。これは本当のステップ。
ああ、そうだね。私の多分この Apple Watch もこうやってやったら
そう。
万歩計は進んでいくもんね。
エチエンも Apple Watch 持ってる。
ああ、そう
でも私のステップより高い。
そう、なんか Apple Watch のステップいつもちょっと嘘っぽいよね。ちょっと嘘っぽい。でも今出てる。どこだカメラ。
たくさん。
すごい。
そう。いっぱい歩きます。
20キロぐらい。
そうですね。20キロ歩いた。
その Apple Watch は
オルさん。こんばんは。
こんばんは。
こんにちは。こんばんは。見なかった。今まで見なかった。
いきなり、オウさんいる。
いきなり、オルさん。髪切った？
切ったね。
すごい。よく見える。
いい感じ。
いい感じ。
ありがとう。
何の話してた？
かっこいいよね。
オウさん、なんて言った？
その Apple Watch、いくら高かったですか？
時計？
はい。$1000ぐらいでしょ？
わかんないけど。
400ポンドぐらいじゃない？
イギリスポンドで多分400ぐらいかな。400ポンドぐらいかな。399とかそんな感じ。
アップルのプロダクト、
高いよね。
はい。いつも高い。
そう。高い。そうなんだよね。私も、なんか、アップルプロダクトは本当は好きじゃないんだけど、でもなんか、スティーブンがつけてるから、日本円で、でもいい。オーストラリアドルで700ポンド、700ドルだって。
あ
アメリカ合衆国ドルで500、500ドルだってよ。500ドルとか。
うん。
500ドル
ああ、
そんなに高くない。まあ高いけど、
ええ。
高いけど、なんか、1000とかじゃないと思う。これ
けど
多分古い、結構バージョンがそんなに新しくない。
うん。
もう昔、3年前ぐらいのやつ。2年か3年前。
Mac とか、Mac は、好きかどうか、わからない。
私は好きじゃない Mac。今使ってるけど、マイクロソフトの方が使いやすいと思う。
そうですね。
ない、Mac。
私は
Mac 好きじゃ
い。
ない。
Mac 派？
Mac 派です。家では Mac だけど、仕事は PC。
仕事は PC で、なんかプライベートは Mac みたいな。
Mac で。
Mac 派。
やっぱり携帯からなんかファイルを移動したり、携帯とのなんかがスムーズにできるから、PC だとなんか写真を送るのにも E メールを使って送ってダウンロードしてとか、それがも
うわかる。もしかして全部Apple とか完璧でしょ？全部 Apple。
全部リアドロップできるもんね。
それが
Okay, so quick Q&A from now. So Ryoji Sensei is kindly here to answer your Japanese language questions. So we were just having a conversation actually as part of Conversation Club. Did you want to just go over that again, just to refresh us what we were all talking about just for a second there?
Like 効率がいい。
そうですね。はい。
効率がいい。効率がいい。So like it's efficient. Efficient. 効率がいい。こういうでも難しい漢字は Is it hard for you guys to memorize? 効率がいい。
効率がいい。When can we use that in a sentence? Can you remind us?
効率がいい。効率がいい。難しいな。あんまりでも使わないかな、普通の会話では。We may not use this in our regular conversation, but if you're explaining something about like computer or effectiveness of a project or something like that, we will use it.
It's more like business-like language. It's not like for your everyday things.
そうだから例えばこの仕事をするのにコンピューターを使うととても効率がいい。So to do this work, if you use computer, it's more efficient than using a person. 効率がいい。
So how would you use like efficient? Like how would you say efficient in a more like conversation like language? Is there like another term to say like efficient? Like 役に立つ is not the same, right? I'm not sure.
役に立つ、それは役に立つ is like that's very useful. So if you can give me an English sentence example using efficient.
I feel like I'm more efficient working from home, for example. Like I feel like it's more. Do I also use like 効率?
家で仕事した方が効率がいい。家で仕事した方が効率いい。Or you can say はかどる。
はかどる？
家で仕事した方がはかどります。はかどる。
Oh, it's a verb. Okay. はかどり。
はかどる。はかどる means like you can do it like really fast. efficiently はかどります。
うん。
日本語。
だから家で仕事をするのにもコンピューターを使うと仕事がとてもはかどります。
はかどります。
はい。ちょっと難しい感じですね。はかどる。
そう。ちょっと散歩みたいな、なんか、違う、ちょっと違う。
ちょっと難しい感じよ。
手辺に歩く。
歩くの。そうそう。
はかどります。
Yeah, but it's really straightforward to go forward with your hand. Like,
そうそうそう。だから最近仕事をはかどってるっていうと、how's your work? How's it been lately? 仕事はかどってますかって言ったりするし、はかどってる。
Interesting. I feel like koritsu gai, like koritsu, it's like a word that can use also normally, not in business situation. Just efficiency. It's not a word that
you use often.
Use.
Yeah.
Only in specific terms.
It's very efficient. すごく、でも使うかな。すごく効率がいい。すごく効率がいいです。
I'm trying to think of more. ごめんなさい。
他には無駄がない。無駄がない。これも一緒のことです。無駄がない。無駄ってわかる？
Like waste?
Isn't it like waste?
そう。無駄がない。So there's no waste. So everything is very efficient. So there's no waste to like throw away. So 無駄がないっていうのは。
For me, it's like counterintuitive. Like I think if it's not waste, it does not mean it's efficiency. Like in my head.
だから彼の仕事は全然無駄がないっていうと、he doesn't waste anything. He's very efficient.
I see.
で、逆に無駄ばかりっていうと、it's not efficient.
It's only wasteful. Okay.
Like I think even in English, like in most of sentence, people will say like it's faster, it's more smooth, like in specific things, like efficiency, like they won't use much. So maybe this is the thing that you are missing about that. Just using like simple terms like faster, smooth, easier.
Yeah.
So these new words, when you learn it, instead of just looking up the meaning in dictionaries, it's better to see how it's used in a sentence, because I don't think that there's always 100% accurate translation for any foreign words, and you really have to like live in that culture and hear how the words is used, and then you kind of have to feel it instead of just matching this translation is this, because if you do that, the translation for the whole sentence becomes a little bit like shifted. It's not exactly correct.
It's like doing a Google Translate. It's never good result.
Yeah. So when I use Google Translate, I usually use 2 different languages. So if I wanted to like do something in Portuguese, I will translate English to Spanish first, and then from Spanish to Portuguese.
Oh, that's wise.
And then to make sure that's correct, I would do Portuguese to Japanese. So I would do like a cross reference to make
see
sure
if the meaning is still
because some words, depending on how you use it, it means completely different.
So it might be awkward if you use some of the wrong words or Yeah.
So that's why, like, when you're learning new words, it's always better to see different usage. I think if you look up words in dictionaries, there's always sentence examples,
Mm.
and then those are the one that you should be memorizing, not just the meaning of each word.
The Reibun.
Yeah, I always trying to learn words like as part of sentences. What's the difference between Mudawakari? What is
Mudabakari.
Mudabakari? And then
So 無駄ばかりっていうのは無駄がいっぱい。A lot of waste. 無駄ばかり。あと似た言葉で仕事が早いとか、仕事が早い。彼はとても仕事が早い。っていうと、
いいこと。
早い。早いはこちらですね。これは early。早い。こちら。スピードが速い。仕事が早いっていうと、he is very efficient. He does everything really quickly. あと、オノマトピアを使うと、テキパキしている。テキ
パキかわいい。テキパキ。
So, テキパキ is when somebody is like really fast, moves like to one place and then go to the other.
It's like テキパキ。
Yeah. So, テキパキ。
Oh, this
so
is adorable.
Like, he's quick.
I can see Jess doing like the lip syncing of the teki paki.
So you can say it like あの人の仕事はとてもテキパキしていて早い。テキパキしている。
It's like strange because like if I say in Hebrew to someone you are walking fast, well, it depends how I say it, but sometimes it's like can mean bad thing, like it's going fast but not good. Like so it's really interesting like to see that it's a bit different in Japanese.
Right. So same word could be used in a very different ways. So that's why it's always better to memorize things in chunk, a little bit larger chunks.
Yeah.
Like short phrases. It's kind of like when you build or when you make jigsaw puzzles. Like, what do you do first?
Well, you try to make.
Usually.
You try to put something together, like a piece, just like one piece, right. Like the corner or like.
So yeah, you usually start with the frame first.
Yeah, the frame. Yeah.
And then you will take a look at the completed picture. And then what I do is I would sort them by colors. So if there's like a picture of flowers, I would look at something red. So all the red ones go to one side.
A lot of people do it. Yeah. It's not fun.
I think it's the best practice. Yeah.
So it's kind of like when you learn a language, you first memorize like different words, and then you memorize grammar rules, and then they'll tell you, okay, now make a sentence. And that's very difficult because you're building from, so like you're giving pieces of jigsaw puzzles, and then you don't even know how the complete picture is, but you're trying to guess it. But if somebody teaches you the framework, it shows the complete picture of what it should be, then you can identify, oh, that piece goes there, so it doesn't belong here. So it's about, you have to go from like top to bottom instead of coming from bottom to top. So always like learn longer sentences and then break it apart and learn grammar from there. But a lot of times they teach like English or Japanese from, words, grammar rules, and then they tell you to construct it. That's not how we learn languages.
That's why it's not working so well.
I mean, like, when you learned your first language, you didn't learn about grammar. You didn't learn different languages.
You just learn patterns, I
did this.
think.
Yeah. So finding out
But you
patterns.
have like 8 years just to listen to it without doing anything else.
Mhm. And I think everyone will go through this aha moment. And for me, like when I was studying German, it took me 2 years. But one day, when I was listening to a podcast, I was like, oh, like I'm understanding now.
Something clicked, like.
Yeah.
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 I feel like you decide from now on, I understand.
Yeah, there is some point that I went to Japan, for example. I studied there, and one point I just listened to someone and I understood what they were saying, just like passively. And I was like, that's the point. I was like, oh my god, I understand Japanese. Like,
Yeah.
From that point, you start to figure out that you understand a lot.
And it's almost like you're like holding on to something, and sometimes you have to let it go. But once you let it go, it's like, oh, I get it now. And then once the gates open, everything just like come flooding in.
Ryoji Sensei, how many languages do you speak? Because I see you speak Spanish and Portuguese and
So
like
I can
German. Whoa.
I can do 4, and then Portuguese, I'm getting there now to be able to speak because I practice every day. And I think it really helps to record yourself and listen to it, and then listen to native speakers speak, and then compare how I'm sounding and how they sound. And then each day it gets better and better.
I'm always embarrassed every time I try to record myself speaking Japanese. I'm just like, I thought I was like speaking better. In my head, it sounded better, but then I was just like, oh my god, it sounds awkward. So it's hard to deal with it. So.
Well,
sometimes you have to listen to it objectively.
Yeah.
Like I feel like speaking and like matching like Atsuon and stuff, it's like, for me, it's like maybe will be very advanced level. Like I don't care to sound a bit different, really. Like not to sound like Japanese. I'm not Japanese. I don't care to sound like someone with foreign accent. I think it's cool.
I think it's easier to understand for Japanese people sometimes if the accent is more accurate. They can understand, like, for example, if there's like Niji and there's like Niji, like rainbow and 2 o'clock, or I don't know, it's just like ame, or there's like stuff that's like it's easier to understand in Japanese if your accent is more on point. I don't think it's just like sounding Japanese, but I just want people to understand me correctly. So
Yeah.
I think that's part of it.
So like different languages, have its own like pattern of how the language flows. So like English will be like but Japanese always like because we have mora. So it's like always like the same tempo. But you have to kind of know that once it stays up, and then all the way until the verb comes and then go down. And the hardest thing for foreigners to keep that same height of the sound until the end, because you want to go like naturally.
Yeah, it's like something and then like then going down. Yeah, it's like it's hard.
So once you get to we get used to that sound and how it should sound, then you should be able to start creating the same sound when you speak. So I think like being able to understand and being able to speak, they kind of go together. You can't just learn one thing and thinking that you will be able to speak. So you have to practice at the same time, and you have to. So shadowing is very effective, I think.
Yeah.
I do that a lot. So whatever I hear, I just repeat immediately.
Mm.
Mm.
So like you watch a TV show and just like you hear something and then like you're just repeating it or just
Mhm. Yeah. I do that a lot.
For example, there is like now I see anime that the main girl character doesn't pronounce the de, so she's like "Ohayo gozaimasu." I don't know how to say it. Like so Ringos. I don't know. Like when I hear it and I repeat it, I can do it. But when I try to do it alone, I can't remove the de.
Yeah, even like English words, like there are difficult words for me to pronounce. And when I encounter those, I will just repeat it like so many times until I can say it without even thinking about it.
Mm.
Yeah,
So that's
when
why I was teaching. Mhm.
I was just gonna say, every time I get a new word that I don't know, I'll say it 10 times. I just
Yeah.
repeat it 10 times, because just to get the tongue used to it,
And you remember
Yeah.
it?
So
No, I don't always remember it. It has to mean something to me. I remember a few years ago I went to Japan, and I went as part of an alumni association for JET teachers. And I was there specifically for an alumni meeting. And I said, I'm here for the JET Alumni Association. And they said the word in Japanese for alumni association. And I heard it once. And then because that was why I was in Japan, I was then, every time I spoke to somebody to say why I was there, I knew how to say it. But now I'm back, and now I can't remember what the word is.
But probably if someone would say it to you, you would just like trigger, like you would
Probably.
remember it. Yeah.
同窓生同窓生
Dosose.
同窓生。
So
Dosose.
同窓生 means like
同窓生
same window student.
Right.
同
Dosose.
窓
Do is like dorio. Yeah.
同
Onaji.
窓 So the gathering would be called 同窓会
Dosokai. That was
Dosokai.
it. That was it. Dosokai no tame ni Nihon ni imasu. So that's what I
Yeah.
Oh,
said.
great! And you hear it, you remember it.
Yeah, Dosokai. But because I was there and that was the reason I was there, that's why I remembered that word. And like I say, now I couldn't remember what that word was because it doesn't mean anything to me right now. It
Yeah.
has to have that meaning in the moment, and I need to be able to say that word. So therefore, I've grabbed onto it at that time and gone, this is what I'm going to have to be saying quite a lot this visit. So I'm just going to keep it.
Mm.
And then when I finish with it, I go, I don't need that anymore. My brain just
Oh,
lets it go.
by the way, today I finished my basic kanji learning. I finished today
Omedetou!
Omedetou!
1,604 kanji.
Wow.
Wow.
Learn.
Yeah, bye.
And from now on, I'm not study any more kanji by my own, but just through words. But after I did it, I did like a basic test that someone did to see what is real and what is fake kanji. And I also saw a lot of kanji I didn't know, and I guessed most of it correctly because like I got the general feeling for it. So
Yeah.
now when I left it behind, I will like be happy for a while, and then we'll continue to be happy and like start learning from more chants, because I feel like kanji was in my way to like see the world and also not be able to separate kanjis. Now that I feeling secure on this part, I will be able to continue without worry about it. So happy.
すごい。So basic kanji is how many? 1,000.
Well, it's supposed to be the 1,000 most used kanji, but before I just do the first 1,000, and then I switched to 1,000 most used, and 500 was already there, so I learned another 500.
But there's also a list that's the 2,000 that are used by newspaper companies, aren't there? So if you want to be able to read
Joyo kanji.
right, the Joyo.
I feel like when you study, like, it's also separate that you study the kanjis that have each particle inside. So now when I'm done, like most of the new kanji that I will see, I already seen all these particles inside. So it will be easier.
Like the radicals.
Yeah, to continue to learn only kanji, only 2000, I couldn't do it. Like, it start to be very hard and you start to really forget and you really need to start looking at words, like, I feel, in this point, like. But yeah, the system really helped me. I learned by acing, if you heard about, remember the kanji group.
What's acing?
Like, take the kanji and the particles and invented some stories for the particles. Like, the kanji contain from these particles, so he created a story for this kanji. And you like remember the story and remember the kanji and the meaning, and after you practice, like, you kind of forget the story and the meaning related to your kanji most of the time.
He also has a book, I think that's the book I used, Remembering the Kana, because he did the same thing for the kana symbols as well.
And the good thing, like, it's not the book that he has a lot of community, so like I'm taking like kanji and I see the most remembered stories that people create, and I just copy the top 1, 2, 3 story, whatever fit to me, without inventing them myself. Copy it and remember, like, it was really easy.
Amazing.
So I've written "Hey Sig" in the comments underneath this video, so if anyone's unsure what it's called.
I always call him Helsing, I don't know why.
Helsing.
Helsing.
Hey Sig, yeah. I think I have one of the books here. I have so many kinds of books.
Also, maybe you will want to write the website that make the learning very easy. It's called kanji.kohi. You can also see the top
Kohi
or
Kuhi.
Kuhi.
Kanji.
You can also see the top stories, and you can also add them and like manage like flashbacks and reminder how much to do every day and everything, like free, like doing async and create your own flashcard. It's like hell, but with this website it's super easy. It's doing everything for you.
Cool.
そうですね。
Right, we've got 1 minute of Q&A left. So any final questions for Ryoji Sensei before we finish? I'll take that as a no.
No. 1 minute is oh wow, okay. No.
Okay. So the next Q&A for this group, this Facebook group, will be in a month's time, and it will be Monday at 1 p.m. in a month's time with Naoko Sensei.
Can I share this video outside of the group, or it's only for members?
It's only for members of our community.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyone in this community can see the video, but it won't be able to share because of the way that it's put into the community. So.
Okay.
But anyone that wants to join to learn from it is welcome.
Hey, I joined because of all, so maybe other people.
Yeah, maybe I will show the Q&A.
Cool. So that's, so once a month for this community. Anyone that's in the membership, as Bar and Or are, they get Q&As twice a week. So once with Ryoji Sensei every Saturday and Naoko Sensei every Monday. So if you want more opportunities to speak to our native Japanese speakers, then the membership's probably the best bet for you. But if you're quite happy once a month to have these videos and support from the free community, then that's there for you too.
Please know that
Right, so-
membership is the best.
Pardon?
You should totally get the membership. I'm just telling everyone, that's the best.
Only if you're fun to talk with. No, I'm kidding.
So yeah, everyone knows each other in the membership because we meet 4, 5, 6 times a week, don't we? Chatting.
Yeah.
Yeah, good fun. Okay, Ryoji Sensei, otsukaresama deshita. Thank you so much for your
Good to see
time
you,
today.
pal, always.
はい、また来週会いましょう。
またね。
またね。
またね。